Here we are on day 20 of our spiritual journey towards living a more generous life. Do you have a besetting sin? When I first heard that word, it kind of surprised me because I didn't know exactly what it meant. But a besetting sin is one that raises its ugly head and causes you problems over and over and over again. It's true confession time for me. I have a besetting sin. I am selfish. And this selfishness tends to reveal itself in many different ways and in many different times. And it's something that I battle against on a daily basis. I'm selfish. And that's why we have the principle we have for today in our blog. We have to beware of greed, of hoarding, and selfishness in our life. We have a phenomena going on here in the United States. And it's been going on for the last 20 or so years, and that is the building of storage units. Storage units are popping up everywhere around the United States. It seems like everybody needs their home or their apartment building and a storage unit. And you go and you find these storage units, and sometimes people can't pay on the storage units, and so the storage unit will take the things and auction them off. Have you ever been at an auction for the storage units? They open up the doors and they look inside, and there inside you find, well, you'd be surprised some of the things you find sometimes. Things that people are paying $40, $50, $60, $100 a month just to store. The things in there are not real valuables. There's no real antiques. There's nothing that's going to bring a huge amount of money at the auction. Just something that the individual wanted to store. I believe Jesus is coming soon. And sometimes I wonder if our bank accounts, when Jesus comes, if our bank accounts are going to testify for us or against us. I mean, Jesus warned about that farmer who had an overabundance of crops. It was a bumper crop, and he decided that he was going to tear down his barns, and he was going to build bigger barns. He was going to get additional storage unit to put things in. God said of him, "You fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you." I wonder if his bigger barns, his extra storage units, I wonder if his bank account testified for him or against him. In the book of James, James 5, talking about in the last days, James writes, "Now listen, you rich people, weep and wail because of the misery that is coming upon you. Your wealth has rotted, moths have eaten your clothes, your gold and silver are corroded. The corrosion will testify against you and eat your flesh like fire. You have hoarded wealth in these last days." What's going to happen? How is your bank going to testify? Is your bank going to testify that you were a faithful steward? Will it testify that you had the besetting sin of greed, hoarding, and selfishness? I want your bank account to testify that you were a faithful steward. So again, I encourage you today, live generously.